Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion is Parashat Ekev, the third Torah portion in the book of Deuteronomy. This Torah portion is towards the beginning of the speech which Moses gives to the children of Israel as they prepare to enter into the promised land. He knows that as he says these words, he will not be joining them, and so there's a certain sense of urgency about the message that he imparts to them. In particular, he wants to remind the people about the importance of following all the commandments and the repercussions for either following or not following the commandments. In particular, there's a section in this week's Torah portion which is well known to many of us as the middle part of the Shema, the middle paragraph, the V'haya im Shamoah. This paragraph is theologically challenging. It tells us that if we follow the commandments and do the right things, then God will make sure that we flourish and have everything that we need. If we don't follow the commandments, then we will be punished. Now, this is somewhat difficult because we know that in the world in which we live, there are people who are not really righteous, who seem to do really well, and then people who are very righteous who seem to suffer quite a bit. Even the rabbis in Pirkei Avot said that we cannot fully account for the suffering of the righteous nor for the flourishing of the wicked. But this has become a central part of our liturgy, being in the in the Shema that we recite twice a day. Many people have said that it shouldn't be looked at on a personal level, but rather on the level of us as a people, that we have to remember to do what it is that we as Jews have been commanded to do, not just ritually, but also ethically. One of the interesting commentaries on this passage comes from Yehuda Aryeh Leib of Ger, the Ger Rebbe, the Sfas Emes, who notes that the beginning of the paragraph begins with the word V'haya im Shamoah. And the word V'haya is actually superfluous. It means and then or and so. And it could really begin with if you listen or if you hearken unto these commandments. He says, whenever the word V'haya appears in the Torah, it is a sign of joy and a reminder that we can look at the next paragraph and the obligations that we have as a burden, but rather we should view them as a joy. In other words, we shouldn't follow the commandments because we think there'll be a reward, or not follow them and think that there will be a punishment, but rather we should follow them out of the pure joy of being able to participate in what it is that God wants of us. This week at Beth El, the Heights Synagogue, we mark the yahrzeit of Ida Greenstein, Lena Fried, Morris Ginsburg, Esther Ann Faraci, Helen K. Weil, Joseph D. Klein, and Samuel Messerman. Wishing you all Shabbat Shalom.